We're like, look, if we're going to do this, we're doing it because of you and with you, right? Like we wouldn't be able to build out a new facility and add an event center and all of these things if it wasn't for our incredible team, right? Like they're the fuel that allows us to be able to do this. It is not just me. It's not just my husband. It's not just our 40 years in business and our reputation. It's like the team that is in it day to day, making it happen, creating those experiences that allows us to continue to grow.
First thing is I teamed up with a co-founder who has very similar goals. So we're aligned in what we're doing, but we each bring sort of distinct skills to the table. So this allows me to focus on things that I'm good at and parts of the business that I enjoy while he deals with the stuff that, you know, he enjoys and he's good at. And, you know, it makes it easy for me to sort of bring enthusiasm and passion to the table every day because I'm doing what I like. So.
And then find a mentor, find a good mentoring program, because many times a mentor can help you. Do I need some training? Who do I need to connect to? What do I need to learn to come into the industry? And then I think once you start making it into the industry, you're going to be great. But you got to remember, you're changing careers or starting a career, depending where you are. You know, if you're coming out of college, so it's going to take time to build that network and find those mentors. I call it mentors, champions, and coaches. And you're going to have to just keep at it. So every day, you know, as long as you're moving slowly towards your goal, you're going to do good. So don't think of things in, what can I do by tomorrow? Think about where am I going to be in a year? And then how am I going to get there?
I do feel that back in the days, I told you, you know, I was very, very excited about politics, and that was my way to improve the world. I basically got a bit disappointed in politics, and then I had the idea like, okay, corporations, they can fix the world problems. Then you see the large companies and you think like, no, that's not going to happen, all these different stakeholders involved. And I do think that startups have the best chance to make like an impact on the world. In a way, as a venture capitalist, I enable that.
Right. The better question is why can you make so much in plastics and different grades of plastic, right? So we're only recycling 1s through 7s. There's other grades. There's grades that aren't being recycled, like all the film, you know, that go like the special, like if you buy a toothbrush and that toothbrush is stuck in that film, right? That's not typically, it's not a bottle, tub, jug, or jar. The facility can't recognize that. So that's not trash. Like, why can they pack it? I really wish that Americans could come together on when the producer responsibility of like packaging responsibility, the sustainability of packaging. Like, let's just all agree that like, hey, if we're gonna make a product and the product's awesome, let's put it in a package that's recyclable 100%. And if it's not, right, in an area, is it compostable? So if they're gonna throw it away, it's at least not gonna hurt the environment a million years from now.
I wanna key on the advice specifically, and that is to be wary of advice.
Good one.
So, yeah. I think it's easy. I mean, you were saying that you suspected that over the years, I may have received advice that I should grow the company larger. But I feel like advice comes from people who definitely don't know you as well as you do, or your business. And so you got to be careful about what people say that you should do. What I find has been really helpful for me, and what I would share for your viewers, is to seek out experiences from other people, have them share what their experience has been about a particular topic.
I think it's really having those meaningful relationships. And I don't just say network, because to me a network can be a faceless just number, you know. It's having those people that you can really rely on, that can give you that advice, that can be honest and tell you, hey, you know, you're going in the wrong direction, or maybe you need to reevaluate. And you have enough credibility with them, and they have enough credibility with you that you'll actually listen.
I was not a cannabis guy growing up. As a pro athlete and destined for the Marine Corps and rural East Texas, you know, no, man, no drinking, no smoking, no nothing, very focused.
Okay.
Even if I wanted to, the money wasn't there for it, and I didn't have the connections.
Okay.
But after the Marine Corps, when I was hanging around some pro BMX racers, there were some different events that happen in the Marines, you know, and you keep them to yourself, but you're struggling with some mental challenges, and it translated to me to insomnia.
Okay.
And it was a fellow professional BMX racer that turned me on to cannabis. At a national of all places. And I'm out in the parking lot just riding a bike around at 11 o'clock because I can't sleep. And he's over there with this big cloud around him. And I just shake my head and I'm like, what are you doing with your life? And well, you know, went down my... And he was a very intelligent person, and he was he was able to articulate very well why he was doing what he was doing. And it wasn't recreational, it was medicinal. He had some challenges as well. And subsequently I gave it a try, and oh my gosh, I can sleep.
Yep. Then you're hooked.
Now I'm hooked. I'm a weed guy.
And if you're passionate, if you have that sparkle in your eye, if you're smiling and you can feel the energy bouncing off the other person, they're soaking up your energy and they're getting excited, you know you have a good idea, go for it. The difference between an idea and a business is the sweat that you put in it. And to just know that's a hard road, you're gonna do great if you're passionate about it.
Number one, preparation.
Right.
Preparation. So for HubSpot, I built a blog for the first 3 months before I applied, writing 3 times a week on that blog to show them how much I cared about inbound marketing and the content process behind it. I researched everyone who I was interviewing with for minimum an hour. I had a plethora of notes, researched the company. It was amazing. And number one, not number one, but like a fun fact about that is when I went for my final interview, the CEO, Brian Halligan, was still doing interviews. He was the final interview at that time because the company was still small. Right. He came in and said, all right, what questions do you have for me? He did not ask me one question. He literally said, what questions do you have for me? And it went on for half an hour. Luckily, I had 30 questions, already written down. And that's how that interview went.
It's a great question. And if I told myself, or we'll just use me 7 years ago, we've already talked about this. Be humble. Always be a learner. Yep. Be a learner. Don't, it's different. Be humble. Go in there and learn. You're first and foremost a student. And I would recommend anyone get out into the grow operation or the retail operation or the extraction operation. Go work there for a week. It'll do wonders. We had a grower at Mindful. He still tells everyone that starts company, goes, you wouldn't believe it. Tom was out here for like 2 weeks, like getting wet and plants around. They wanted me to get the hell off the floor, but I'll tell you what, walk a mile in their shoe. Be humble. So number one, and a learner. Number two, don't, just because it's cannabis, I call it business physics. The physics, gravity on this planet we live on is the same for you and me, Steve. I can't. And the same thing with, there's certain things in business that count. Cash flow is important.
Cash flow is king.
It's oxygen, right? Without cash flow, it's oxygen, right?
That's right.
Those physics still applying. Just because it's cannabis doesn't mean the laws of business or the rules of business, and there's no laws, but you know what I mean? The laws of physics still apply to you. Gravity's gravity. It's still the same gravity, for Tom as it is for somebody that's been in cannabis for 10 years. So that basis you learn, that business experience you have with dealing with people and balance sheets and financial statements, those rules still apply.
Those rules still apply.